Hello again everybody, this is part 2 of my condensation tests, a non-scientific experiment. And this time I'm going to use the Black Diamond Hilight 2p tent. I'm going to stick the stove in it, boil off 300 ml of water and just get an idea of how badly it affects a single skin tent and how the roof venting system on this, the flow manifold system, might work. So in this one I'm going to have to put the stove right inside, so I've put a roof slate down just to try and protect it. I don't really want to burn down 350 quid's worth of tent. Do the same thing again, so we'll use 300 ml of water and we'll try and burn it until it's dry. I'll just put some mess into the transient. That should be plenty. There we go. Making a nice healthy simmering noise. I think what I might do is I'm going to put the mesh door up first just to get an idea so we can film it, and then I'll put the solid door up a few minutes later. I'm also going to leave the vent just a couple of inches open at the top, which is the way I would normally sleep, and there's no danger of rain getting in normally, so just to make it a more realistic test. Doing it this way I can just make sure that the stove doesn't go out initially, which sometimes it will do. To give you another idea as well about the conditions, it's about 14 degrees as opposed to the colder temperature on the previous test, and the humidity is only 47% outside compared to about 90 I think it was on the previous test. And just to make this even more scientific, you'll see I have a very high-tech timer here set to a maximum of 30 minutes, which is what it took the first time. Yeah, we're definitely burning a lot quicker. It's boiling away much more rapidly due to the fact there's no rubber ring stuck on the burner. Let's seal this up fully. A tiny wee bit at the back there, and I'll maybe just do the same at the front by a couple of inches, which is how I'd normally sleep. Unsurprisingly, there's a lot of hot air coming out of here. That's the rear end vent. Let's check the front. Yeah, it's generating a lot of heat coming out of there. It's absolutely roasting. And you can feel the moisture already on my fingers, and on the nylon is soaking. I've got a feeling we're going to end up with one very wet tent. It's probably worth mentioning there's no through breeze at the moment, it's gone very still. So this manifold flow vent I don't think is going to work too well because there's no passage of air going through it. So maybe not the most accurate of tests. It'd be better if it was breezy. We could have seen how it sucked the air out of the tent. Yeah, pretty wet. Just a sheen of water. Yep, soaking on the vent now. And my high-tech timer, folks, says 5 minutes in. It's definitely boiling off a lot quicker, so I think it's time I better go in and have a wee quick look and make sure it's not drying out. Well, there's still water in there. It's a lot lower, and it is one hot, damp feeling tent. A lot of heat coming out of here. It's certainly escaping. Well, I certainly can't see any visible moisture or steam. So we're nearly 10 minutes in. I'm going to have another wee look inside. Well, some heat. Oh, it's roasting in there. I've still got water to go yet. Oh, the fumes in here are unbelievable. Stinks. Nearly 15 minutes it says on the high-tech stopwatch. Time to have another look. Yeah, it's not far off boiling dry. It's pretty close to the bottom. Right peeps, that's it. It's more or less bone dry, so I'm going to go and have a wee look inside now. Good, okay. There we go. Ooh. Okay, that's that out, which is hot. I've noticed a couple of wee drips on the back pole here where it's condensed on the pole itself and dropped off. No drips from that pole. No drips from that pole. And none from there. Expecting the roof to be absolutely soaking. I actually thought it would be running all the way down here. It's a very enclosed space. Right at the apex, let's see how wet the poles are. Oh, that's really strange, they're dry. Dry. Then they start to get wet below this Velcro catch. That's interesting. Let's check the other side. Pole is dry, and then only starts to get wet further down. So at the vent, this is dry, and then as you get further down, a slight sheen. You can see it in my hands there, hopefully. Yep, a wee sheen of water. Towards the bottom, it actually seems drier again. Strangely enough, it's this midpoint, it's the kind of middle of the tent is where there's some moisture, but actually a lot less than I expected. These are the only couple of drips I was talking about, here and here, which has come off the pole, which is just slightly damp. Just a couple of beads on the bottom part there. But as you get further up, the pole just dries out. The outside of the tent, or the alcove area, these are all soaking, and yet the inside near the vents are not. So all in all, that's actually surprisingly successful. I'm very impressed with the Black Diamond's venting system. I know it's not scientific, but it really should have been a lot worse in here. And it's perfectly livable, no running water. You could sleep in a down sleeping bag and you wouldn't be touched by any of the moisture at all. So there you go folks, not scientific, but an interesting little experiment. And if you have any questions about the tent or any criticisms or comments, just let me know. And thanks again for watching this crazy wee video.